People fall in love with a white picket fence. In other words, a dream home. And the cost is usually secondary. They get in debt up to their eyeballs. Really bad idea, particularly right now, because we're at the very top of the market. In fact, it's a bubble, certainly in Canada, and Australia comes in second. Here's an article I clipped from zerohedge.com in about March of this year. It's about the most overvalued housing market in the world, in Canada, and it's by The Economist, a well-respected international financial magazine. Now, funny enough, I noticed this article a few days later on the site marketwatch.com. Now, it's about millennials, those people who are 25 to 34 years old, in this case in the US. And the concern was that they're not buying homes. Well, I gotta say, good for them. Smart. Because buying a home right now would be really foolish. I mean, why would you buy at the top of the market? You'd be underwater financially in no time. So how do I know that? One of the most important and regular cycles is the 18-and-a-half-year real estate cycle. It's likely the most clearly defined of all of the cycles. Edward Dewey spent an entire chapter on it in his book, Cycles, the Science of Prediction. Now, here's a chart showing the pattern from 1795 through to about 1950. You can see how regular the pattern is. It averages about 18-and-a-half years. Now, if you're smart, you buy a home at the bottom of the market and sell it at the top. Let's update this chart to today. We had a major low in about the year 2000 in both the US and Canada. The US had a top around the year 2007, and that was associated with the subprime mortgage crash. Canada's market is peaking right about now, and I would expect another low around the year 2018, about 3 years away. That's not very far. The 18-and-a-half-year cycle is also a rainfall cycle. Dr. Raymond Wheeler, who I refer to as the father of climate, found that it's wet on the upside, and wet always leads to prosperous times, and it's dry on the downside of the cycle. But we're in a drought right now, right? It's getting cooler and drier worldwide, which leads to depression. Droughts always lead to depression or a recession. They always have. But interest rates are so low, you say. How can I afford not to buy a home? Well, don't get fooled. Central banks have been instigating the lowest rates in history to try and spur the economy, but they haven't been able to do it. It's getting weaker and weaker, and I'm expecting a very big crash very soon. The US stock market is already topped. Oil has tanked, but it's got further to go. And interest rates are on the way up, quite a bit. Can you afford a big jump in interest rates? Well, I'd do the math before signing on the bottom line. So, millennials, or anyone else thinking about buying a home, save your money. Wait a few years until this bubble crashes and get in at the bottom. Now, some of us are projecting homes to be worth about 25% of what they are now in just 5 years. Now, that's not very long to wait to get your dream home. Listen to Dewey. He said, the building cycle is so long that most people don't experience 2 cycles in their business life. For many individuals, an unfavorable first experience means a lifetime tragedy. So, pay attention to the market. Pay attention to cycles. Don't get sucked into low interest rates. And no, this time is not different.